I'd like to welcome everybody out for Military Appreciation Night, for those of you that aren't from Summit Christian Academy. My name is Jake Cates. I'm the athletic director here, and I'm excited about taking just a little bit of time tonight to honor our current and former military personnel and their families for the sacrifices that they give to us so that we can have the freedoms that we have. So I'm going to open with prayer, and then we've got an exciting time of about 15 minutes here before the guys' game starts. So let's pray. Father, thank you for this evening. Thank you for all that you do for us. Lord, we thank you for this great nation. And Lord, we thank you for all the men and women that have laid their lives down, sacrificed time with their family, and just the comforts of life here, Lord, so that we might have freedom. We thank you for them, Lord, both the ones that are with us and the ones that are no longer here. Lord, we ask that tonight be honoring and pleasing to you. And may it, Lord, just be a little bit of a thank you to those that have served our country. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats for the presentation of colors by the Color Guard from the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 5789 in Lee Summit, Missouri.
Color Guard, left hand, up, and trail, forward, march. Color Guard, mark time, mark. Color Guard, call. Left, face. Freeze it, arms.
At this time, our national anthem will be performed by United States Army veteran Bill Lewis.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free, and the home of the brave?
Color Guard, right, face. Forward, march.
Let's give a round of applause to our VFW Post 5789 Color Guard. Thank you guys for tonight. Thank you for your service to our country. Will Krause. Would you please welcome to the floor Senator Will Krause.
Good evening. It is a pleasure to be with you tonight. I will tell you that we live in the best country in the world. God has blessed us because we live in the United States of America and we have the freedoms that we have in this country. I will tell you that that freedom is not free. That freedom comes from the lives that were lost by men and women that have served this country, by the blood that has been shed on the battlefield. We owe the military men and women, and I appreciate SCA taking this opportunity to appreciate our military. I don't know if any people have seen The American Sniper in here. It's a great movie. I recommend it. My wife and I went and saw it just the other day, and I think it does a great job of illustrating the physical injuries, but also the mental issues that come out of combat. There's a scene, I want to paint a picture for you. There's a scene, Chris Kyle is a sniper. Chris is trained to sit on top of a high point and watch over the troops on the battlefield. And he's looking for the enemy so that he can take them out before the enemy takes our soldiers out. There's this one scene where Chris is on a building and he sees a tank and a platoon of soldiers coming down the street. He looks down at the other end of the street. He sees a mom and he sees a child. The mom hands the child a grenade. The child turns and runs towards the platoon in the tank. Chris shoots that child. Later on in that movie, Chris has kids. He goes back to Iraq. There's another scene where a man comes out. He's got a missile launcher. He's coming around the corner. He's going to shoot that launcher at soldiers. Chris takes that man out. A boy picks up that missile launcher. Chris is like, please don't pick it up. The boy's struggling. He puts it on his shoulder and says, please don't. I'm not going to ruin the movie. I want you to go see it. But the struggle that's going on in Chris is what goes on in our soldiers when they go to combat and they come back. So we do owe them a debt of gratitude. The freedom that we have is not free. It is bought by the lives of the soldiers that have fought before us. So what I want you to do is I want you to go, when you are out and you see a soldier in uniform, I want you to go up to him and say, I appreciate your service. If you know a family that a soldier's deployed, love on that family. Go to that family and love on them. Take them a movie. Give them a card to a movie. That's how we can show our dedication and our gratitude for our military men and women that are serving. Quick story. I'm a Chinook helicopter pilot. Love my job. My oldest son graduated from high school recently, a couple years ago. Joined the military. When he was at the recruiter, they gave him a list of jobs. He goes, you know what? I want to be a helicopter mechanic. So my son goes to basic training, graduates. My wife and I go to Fort Benning to see him graduate. Then he goes to Chinook helicopter mechanic school. And he then comes back and he's coming to my unit. I'm thinking, this is my son that trips over his own feet. He can't find his keys. His room is a total disaster. And he's going to be working on my helicopter. So that's when I decided I was done. I'm not going to fly. It's not true. I did give up flying at that point because I got promoted and I had to find an 04 slot. But I'm very proud of my son, the fact that he joined the military. But I'll leave you with this thought. Freedom isn't free. It's bought by the lives of the soldiers that have died and the blood that's shed on that battlefield. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this time you can have a seat. This time we'll be playing the Armed Forces Medley. We welcome you to stand and sing as you hear the song of your branch of the Armed Forces. United States Army. States Navy. United States Coast Guard. United States Air Force. The United States Marine Corps. As you enter the gym, you may have noticed a special table. It is reserved to honor missing men and women. All Americans should always remember those that have answered the call to serve our nation. No soldier should ever be forgotten. Let me explain the meaning of this table, and then join me for a moment of silent prayer at the end. The table is small, to represent the frailty of human life. The table is round, to show our everlasting concern. The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call to serve. The single red rose reminds us of the lives of these Americans and their loved ones and friends who keep the faith while seeking answers. The red ribbon symbolizes our continued determination to account for them. A slice of lemon reminds us of the bitter fate of those captured and missing in a foreign land. A pinch of salt on the plate symbolizes the tears of our missing and their families who long for answers after decades of uncertainty. The lighted candle reflects our hope for their return, alive or dead. The Bible represents the strength gained through faith in our country, founded as one nation under God, to sustain those lost from our midst. The glass is inverted to symbolize their inability to share a toast. And there is no chair as they are missing. Please observe with me a moment of silence for all the men and women that are still missing. Thank you. At this time, we'll conclude our military appreciation ceremony with an address from SCA football coach, SCA father, and United States Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Preston McConnell.
Thanks, Jake. Wow, it's hard to follow up on this man table. I always get choked up every time I see it and read about it and hear it. But Jake asked me to come out and say a couple words about sacrifice and what the military sacrifice. And I said, well, how long do I have? And he said 3 to 5 minutes. And wow, that's a big subject for 3 to 5 minutes. But just I'll give it a shot. If I get long-winded, he'll tell me, he'll pull me off the stage. One of the things we always do in the fighter community, whenever we have someone get up to give a speech to the rest of the fighters, we bring a big bucket of ice water out there, make them stick their hand in it because they won't talk very long. So maybe I need to do that next time if we ever do this again. It's an honor to come and speak before you. It's an honor to see the people who have served before me and who served with me. And that's something I never take for granted. I remember a couple years ago, my grandfather passed away at 92, about 4 years ago. My wife and I were sitting talking to him before he passed away. And he told us a story of how over 70 years ago he was drafted to be in World War II. And he's a country boy from Georgia. I know I don't have that big of an accent anymore, but he's a country boy from Georgia. And he told me, he said he went to the bus stop and was told he's going to go get on the bus, let's go sign in, and he thought he was going to come back and be able to say goodbye to everybody. Well, he was sitting there reading his Bible at the bus stop. The bus came, he hid the Bible underneath a rock, and then he left to go to Atlanta. 2 years later, he came back. So he was gone for 2 years. The Bible was still there. But those 2 years, he couldn't even talk about what he saw most of the time in those 2 years. And there's a lot of people that you know, people in this country that go through those same situations, that have seen things that we don't want to see, experienced things that we don't want to experience. The boys, the football team came out to Whiteman Air Force Base, is where I work. They came out there this summer for a team building exercise, and it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. It was a lot of fun. They came out and they kept talking to me, saying I had the coolest job in the world. I fly airplanes. You go fly airplanes. That's the coolest job in the world. But I tried to impress upon them that's not my job. That's what I do in my job. But my job is to protect them. My job is to protect the guys who are on the ground. I fly A-10s, and the whole purpose of that airplane is to protect friendly forces on the ground. So I go out and train every day to do a job I hope I never really have to do. I've had to do it, but I hope I don't have to do it again. That means somebody on the ground is in trouble. And someone on the ground is in harm's way. But my job is to protect you. My job is to protect my kids. And that's what we do. And that's why we do this. My unit deployed this past summer, and I didn't get to go. My wife was very happy. I was happy I didn't go, but a part of me was very sad I didn't go. And that's kind of weird to think about, being gone for 7 months and being sad you didn't get to go for 7 months. But when everybody you work with goes over there to do a job that you train to protect your family, to protect you, it's hard not to be part of that. So, but the unit, when we were over there, we have over, in Afghanistan, we had over our squadron door when we're going out, just like a football team, and I told this to the football team. We had over the door, there was a sign posted, and the sign said, the mission is the 18-year-old on the ground with a rifle. What that means is our mission was to protect the soldiers on the ground. We were not going to be satisfied if any of them got hurt over our watch, if anyone got killed or injured. We were not going to be happy until all of them came home. And that's our job. That's why we do what we do. And that's why we train the way we train. And that's why we work as hard as we do. Because we want to make sure all of our guys that go over there come home. And we want to make sure everyone here can have the freedom that you get to have in order to come to watch a basketball game, in order to worship the way we want to worship, in order to serve God. And that's a blessing. Just like Senator Krause said, freedom isn't free. But we do enjoy a lot of freedoms, don't we? And it is a blessing. I serve you guys because of the people who went before me, the people who sacrificed their lives to bring us the freedom we have. I serve so my kids don't have to, if they don't want to. And I serve because we do have the greatest nation in the world. So every time, and that one thing that always perplexes me, and when we talk about thanking a veteran, every time someone comes to me in the airport when I come home and they say, thank you for what you do, I always say, thank you for letting me. Thank you for letting me serve you. Because that's the true blessing. And I would appreciate, for me, this is just me speaking, just tell my wife thank you for letting me serve. Because she sacrifices way more than I ever do. My kids sacrifice way more. So, we can live in a great nation. Because one of the reasons we live in a great nation is because we serve a mighty God and He's blessed this nation. Thank you for the opportunity to come out and speak tonight. Thank you for letting me serve you. And thank you for just allowing us to be the great nation that we are.
We do live in the greatest nation in the world, and don't forget that people are over there even today. And so always keep them in your prayers. Guys, we want to do this every year. We want to make it bigger and better every year. So be looking forward to Military Appreciation Night next year. Thank you to all of our military tonight. We're going to clear the floor here, put up about 10 minutes, and then we'll watch these guys play basketball tonight. One more time, let's give it up for all of our servicemen and women. If you want to write a thank you, stop in the concession area. There's a table where you can write a thank you to our troops.